man is behind bars on multiple charges of abuse against his 6-year-old daughter. 50-year-old John Edward Kraft of Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, is charged with felonies of aggravated assault, strangulation endangering the welfare of children, false imprisonment, and misdemeanors of simple assault and reckless endangerment. Youth social workers first met with the child on the 21st of September and found severe bruising all over her body and face. Earlier this month, investigators questioned the girl and her brother. They said that John would place her in a hole in the backyard and would grab a shovel and cover her with dirt and mud that smelled like sewage when John thought she was lying. When she was thrown in the hole and left there overnight in freezing conditions. It's reported that the girl's stepmother intervened at least once while John assaulted the girl and gave her a bath once after she was buried alive. The girl described other instances of abuse where John struck her head off the wall and floor and choked her until she blacked out. She said he would regularly beat her with a belt on his arm, which had a metal rod in it from surgery. Greene County District Attorney David Russo said that this was one of the worst cases he's ever encountered. "This is a barbaric situation," he said. John was arraigned on the charges on the night of the 21st of October and was booked into the Greene County Prison on a $125,000 bond. He's due to appear for a preliminary hearing at 11:15 a.m. on the 1st of November. 26-year-old Israel Trejo is behind bars after being accused of killing 22-year-old Jimmy Patterson with an axe. The attack occurred at 7:30 p.m. on the 17th of October inside an apartment at 1216 South Houston Avenue in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Police responded to the scene on report of an axing. When officers arrived, they found Jimmy in a critical condition with an axe stuck in his head. He was rushed to the local hospital but died several days later. Joshua Lewis, a friend of Jimmy, said he didn't deserve what happened to him. He said that he had been letting him stay at his apartment for a short period of time to help him get back on his feet. Jimmy was getting ready to leave that night and was reportedly sitting quietly next door on a neighbor's couch in a living room, charging his cell phone and eating an egg roll. Israel was in the same room holding an axe and was looking to purchase it from another person who lived there. Jimmy and Israel had never spoken to each other before. After several minutes of holding and examining the axe, Israel fully swings the axe and buries it deeply into Jimmy's skull. Israel ran from the scene, but was caught by officers near East 6th Street and South Peoria Avenue, roughly 1.5 miles away. Several witnesses were in the residence at the time of the incident, and security cameras caught the attack on video. Lieutenant Brandon Watkins, who's with the Tulsa Police Department's homicide unit, said that Israel basically murdered Jimmy in cold blood for no reason whatsoever. He said that the two men did not know each other, and the attack was unprovoked. He also described both the victim and the suspect as homeless. In a screenshot taken from the surveillance video inside the apartment, the victim can be seen seated on the couch holding his phone. The suspect is also clearly visible standing in the same room with an axe over his shoulder. "There's no lesson here," Brandon said. "There's nothing to this. It's just pure sadistic brutality on part of the suspect." Israel, who's in America illegally, allegedly admitted to attacking Jimmy with an axe. He remains held at the Tulsa County Jail without bond on a murder charge, as well as on a federal immigration hold. Brandon said that Israel's immigration status will have no bearing on the investigation. Dollar General employee, 48-year-old Jerome Ellis, is behind bars after being accused of pouring bleach into his co-worker's drink following an argument. On the 24th of October, the authorities responded to Dollar General on North Woodland Boulevard in DeLand, Florida, to a report of a poisoning. One of the employees reportedly told authorities that he was drinking a Pepsi when he put the can down on a counter and went to the bathroom. He said that when he returned, it tasted and smelled like bleach or cleaning supplies. He said that he and Jerome got into an argument and believed that Jerome was holding a grudge against him. Surveillance video captured Jerome pouring bleach into the victim's can of soda and attempting to unplug the camera system. He also reportedly wiped the can off, walked away and came back to spit in the drink. The two reportedly had gotten into a dispute the day before. During an interview with deputies, Jerome reportedly denied the argument with his co-worker and said he went behind the counter with cleaning solutions and spilled some in that general area. Jerome was confronted with the video footage and eventually said the victim was being difficult, so he put cleaning solution around the brim of the Pepsi can to get back at him. He was arrested and charged with poisoning and tampering with physical evidence. He's held at the Volusia County Jail without bond. 38-year-old Richard Nelm from Coweta County, Georgia, will spend the rest of his life behind bars after he was recently found guilty of raping and molesting his daughter while her mother was at work. The investigation began on the 19th of June 2019, when the victim's mother reported the matter to the authorities. Her child was interviewed and said that her father had abused her, and she underwent a sexual assault examination, and the evidence was consistent with the victim's statements. Several weeks later, Richard was arrested and booked into the Coweta County Jail. Coweta County District Attorney John Herbert Cranford Jr. said that Richard raped, sodomized, and molested his biological daughter from the age of 7 until she was 10 years old. The abuse started when the victim's father was married to her mother, and it resumed after the parents' separation and divorce. The victim, who is now 14 years old, testified in court about the abuse she endured. Richard was found guilty of incest, rape, child molestation, and aggravated child molestation. On the 20th of October 2022, Richard was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.